Wally Backman, 33 years later, you and I doing this again. Interesting for you, more than any other guy that's down here from the player standpoint. This complex for you is past, present, and possibly future. What goes through your mind when you walk out in a different role? When you and Dwight and Timmy are here, you know, what goes through your mind initially when everyone walks out?
Well, I think what goes through all of our minds that you're just talking about is the memories, you know, that we have and we shared here. You know, this was a brand new complex in 1988, and you know, it was definitely the best facility around, and they've done a lot of upgrading here. It's a nice place to come. It's just a fun time to come down here.
And then you fast forward about two and a half weeks from now, and your AAA squad obviously will be working out down here. When you switch caps like that, you know, this is for you, this is fun, but it's also public relations for the Mets.
Sure. And
then, you know, 2 weeks from now you get down to serious business. How do you switch gears so quickly?
Well, it's pretty easy because we know the importance of developing our players and trying to get them ready for the major leagues. You know, when you're down here at fantasy camp, it's all about the campers having a lot of fun and intermingling with them and those type of things. But when it comes February 10th, it's time to get serious, and we got to get out on the field. And we got a lot of young guys this year, and there's going to be a lot of guys fighting for jobs this year, and there's going to be a lot of work that's involved in that. And you know, we just shift gears. That's part of the game.
Now, you know, in walking around with the campers and seeing the way you manage, even just down here, and the way we know you as a ball player, you know, Wally Backman's all about winning. And you know, one or two campers, you know, more than one or two, say, oh, we wish Wally. How tough is that for you? You know, because obviously I would assume your aspirations is to be a major league manager one day.
Sure.
And I assume, since you bleed Met Blue, that you would like to have that position. But then, you know, in the organization, a good friend of yours, Timmy Tuffle, is up, and you know, lots of guys, because they're trying to bring back that 86. How do you walk that fine line of looking to the future but doing your job currently?
Well, I think you have to look at your current position. You know, I mean, there's a lot. We all have admirations to do different things or whatever, manage in the big leagues. But I think you really, for me, it's focusing on the AAA team that we're taking to Las Vegas and getting those guys ready. As many injuries as a major league club had last year, I got to know that I prepare those guys right for when they go up and play for Torre in New York. So, you know, the focus is on development, refining guys a little bit, tweaking them just a little bit, especially in AAA, because some of the guys have been there a long time. We're actually going to have a lot of young guys there this year, but making sure that they get the work done and they're doing the things that they need to do to get them over the hump to get them to the big leagues.
Now, are you excited? You know, we all hear these names, Darno, Wheeler. They're going to spend some time with you, maybe, maybe not. I mean, people talking about, you know, eligibility for arbitration, so they might hold Darno back. But, you know, are you excited to see what these guys can bring to the organization?
Well, I actually seen Darno 2 years ago. We played him 35 games, so I know what he's capable of. He's a very promising young catcher that's going to have a bright future in front of him. Wheeler, you know, depending on what happens, you know, they're talking that he may get a shot out of spring training, so we'll have to see. It would probably be better for him to have 2 or 3 months of development, I think, because he had such a short stay in AAA last year. But, you know, there's a lot of guys. Juan Lagares, you know, Flores. There's a lot of young guys that are talented guys that we have in our top 10 in prospects. And, you know, it's my job to get these guys focused, get them to do the things correctly, you know, teach them some of the mental parts of the game, what they need to do out on the field, and make sure they're fundamentally sound. That's my most important job.
Now, you just mentioned Flores, and he was actually down here a few days. Where do you see him slotting? What position do you think he's best suited for right now?
Well, you know, we'll have to go over it. We'll have to talk to the organization and see what they want to do. But my personal thoughts right now with David Wright signing an 8-year deal, I think Flores needs to play second base. He's slimmed way down. He's lost some weight. You know, he's kind of a heavy-footed guy, but he can really turn the double play. And you know, we foresee this guy's bat really playing in the big league. So, you know, I would assume that he'll play some third, but he's probably going to play mainly a second base.
And lastly, I just have to say this because I'm like addicted to those Met yearbooks that they show on SNY all the time. And every year they would have the manager out at that Payson complex, and you know, Joe Torre one time out by a pond. You know, how does it feel for you to be doing interviews, you know, out now as a, you know, in front of the fields, but talking about future players of the Mets when you were the future players that Joe Torre was talking about back in the day?
You know, you just kind of put that a little bit in the past. The memories are the memories, and And that's what's nice about coming down here to fantasy camp. But you know, now to really focus on our job is to get these players ready. I still at heart I want to win every game that we can. So you know, that's why I try to teach fundamentals and be pretty strict with fundamentals to get these guys right.
I love the fact that since you and I did that on-field interview in 1980 something, you haven't changed a bit, and me, look at me, Wally.
Not gonna change, just the hair color.
All right, Wally Backman.